All right, everyone, you will not believe this then. Thus, there have been rumors that Yaya Mayweather is expecting a child. Once more with NBA YoungBoy's child. To be clear, although we haven't heard her confirm it yet, there have been images and videos circulating that depict Ya with a tummy that seems to be pregnant. This is the particular video that got everyone talking. It seemed to them that Ya had a puppy there. We also know that Ya's little. There is no stomach in her. Additionally, this image that has been circulating is what, in my opinion, gives her the appearance of being pregnant. Her big tummy is clearly giving birth to a baby bump. NBA YoungBoy and Yaya Mayweather already have a son together. In January 2021, their little baby KJ, who is actually Cottrell Jr., was born. He is currently between 3 and 4 years old. Additionally, these two have been interacting intermittently since 2018. However, allow me to explain what makes this rumor even more problematic. NBA YoungBoy is a spouse. All right, Justine Michelle is this man's wife. They were married back in 2023. Since 2020, he and Justine have been together. They have been doing well for a few years now. You all understand this? Right now, Justine is expecting their third child together. All right? They already have a son named Clemenza, born in 2022, and a girl named Love Elise, born in 2021. We will not even mention that name. All right? Thus, the child she's now carrying would be NBA YoungBoy's 13th child. I am now discussing the pregnancy of his wife, Justine Michelle. Now, NBA YoungBoy would have baby number 14 if Yaya is indeed pregnant, as many are claiming. 14. Additionally, there are rumors circulating that suggest another female may also be pregnant. On that one, however, we are unsure. Thus, we may be considering baby number 15. This 25-year-old guy may be on the verge of having 15 children. However, let me explain why, despite the fact that NBA YoungBoy is married. Many are genuinely believing that anything is happening between him and Yaya once more, because there have been some indications. First off, this girl received a Lamborghini vehicle as a gift for her 25th birthday back in May. Additionally, entire video of NBA YoungBoy FaceTiming her as she was obtaining the car was making the rounds. But I'm not even finished, darling. Yaya disclosed that she had a tattoo of NBA YoungBoy's face on her arm on the same birthday. Okay. Several claimed to be unaware of the identity of the man on her arm. They claimed that he resembled Kenan Thompson more. Mind you, the man is married. And she is doing all of this. But that isn't even all. Yaya used the hashtag Masa, which is the name of NBA YoungBoy's latest album, to post on Instagram a few months later in July, showcasing what she dubbed her improved ring. People began speculating right away that he had purchased that ring for her as an upgrade or simply a new ring, as she was also listening to his song in the background. They have also been seen together in many postings and pictures over the course of this entire period, particularly with their son KJ. Additionally, rumors circulated that Yaya made an appearance in one of his most recent music videos. Thus, all of these minor details have been building up, and others are starting to connect the dots as a result of these pregnancy rumors. Yeah, that's that man's baby for sure. They simply say, returning to the past, this man is now married. However, this is how I perceive the relationship to be between him and Justine. Justine is aware of her possessions. All right? Justine is aware that her partner sleeps around. Justine is aware that her partner is seeing other women. And I believe she came to terms with it long before she ever married him. She is therefore unfazed when he has these additional babies on her. She never leaves or does anything similar. She will not relocate even though she is expecting her 13th child and Yaya is expecting her 14th. She will not change her mind. She's not leaving even if it annoys her. Now, because that isn't a cheap ring, I'm not sure what they're doing about Yaya wearing one. And it is unquestionably on the ring finger. Therefore, I'm not sure if they'll be sister wives or something else. However, Justine is aware of the situation and accepts it. as if she agrees to it. However, I'm not sure how he manages to have 12 children, 13 children, and 14 children with so many different women. How do you do it, really? How do you handle the drama that comes with having children by so many different women while still being present with your children? I can only speculate. How he manages to keep up is beyond me. That's what's happening. With these two at the moment, though, we're still awaiting confirmation from Yaya or anybody else on this purported pregnancy. But given all the indications and the way these two have been acting recently, baby, I wouldn't be surprised. Actually, all I'm waiting for is for her to speak out. However, what are your thoughts? Is he preparing to have his 14th child, in your opinion? Please share your thoughts in the comments section. But let's go on to the next tale. All right, everyone. So, Shannon Sharpe has finally broken his silence regarding getting fired from ESPN. And believe me, when I say that he has some thoughts on how everything transpired. If you've been following this story, you are aware that Shannon Sharpe hasn't appeared on ESPN since his purported ex-girlfriend fled in April. All right? A lawsuit was brought against him by the 19-year-old child. We are currently discussing $50 million. All right. She accused him of SA and other offenses. Shannon left the First Take in order to handle the legal commotion. He stated that he will return for the start of the NFL training camp. Shannon wasn't there at the training camp, which came and went. After he resolved that case earlier this month, it was announced Wednesday that ESPN has formally severed its relationship with Shannon. Additionally, Shannon responded without wasting any time. He now revealed everything on his podcast, Nightcap with Oinko. Shannon said that earlier in the week, he did in fact learn that he was dismissed. But this is what irritated him: the timing of everything. As you are all aware, this week marks his brother Sterling Sharpe's induction into the NFL Hall of Fame, and that's enormous. In fact, they are the first brothers to be inducted into the Hall of Fame together. Shannon also requested that ESPN postpone announcing his termination until Monday in order to avoid his mess overshadowing his brother's moment. However, no. ESPN was acting clumsily. In any case, share the news. Shannon was obviously offended by it.
I'm sure everybody's heard the news by now that I will not be returning to ESPN. I found out this information a little earlier in the week, and really the only thing that I really ask is, like, guys, could we wait until Monday? My brother's going into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I really want it to be about him, and I want it to be about my family. I know this coming out will overshadow everything that he's worked his entire life for. And unfortunately, it didn't happen that way. And so, as I told him, as I profusely apologized to him earlier today, he said, "Bro, stop apologizing. You don't have to apologize. I'm your big bro. I'm going to love you regardless. We all make mistakes. And he says, "Bro, I love you. So I'm done with this. You're done with it too. Move on." And I really enjoyed my time at ESPN. It gave me an opportunity to bring my audience that saw me really just grow. They saw me, Lakers in 5, and they saw me say all these analogies that my grandparents gave me, and I was able to bring that to ESPN.
Yes, let's face it, this is what actually happened. Shannon resolved the lawsuit, so we won't likely ever find out the specifics. What transpired between him and his former partner, or whatever the female was? Although the facts of the settlement were not made public, there were rumors that she received $29 million. ESPN, however, obviously didn't want to be involved in that issue. They awaited the outcome of the litigation. Avon said, "Nah, we're good," after Shannon had resolved the matter. And to be honest, I understand, all right? From a professional standpoint, Stephen A. Smith was chosen by ESPN to be the primary host of First Take, and it's likely that they didn't even want to handle any more controversy. Shannon said that he was satisfied with ESPN's choice, but it's clear that he was aware of how everything transpired. A personal drama caused the man to lose his job after he was one of the most well-known figures in sports media. To be honest, Monique and Cat Williams attempted to caution him, all right? Devastation is preceded with warning.
You don't need no 26-year-old girl. You don't need no 36-year-old girl. This is your auntie talking to you. Take your ass and get your old bitch out there that can love you old. You trying to hang out with these young bitches and you can't do it, Shannon. You just can't do it.
Get with a white woman because I was scared she might have me running down the street like Jonathan Majors.
There you go, think I'm old, cat.
Not because I didn't like white women. I think white women are as great as any other women. But I'm not gonna act like I'm not scared of them. I have a reason to be scared. You could be Kang the Conqueror, and they could take your rabbit ass down in 2 weekends.
And that's exactly what took place. Shannon Sharpe was defeated over the course of 2 weekends, all right? However, the good news for he still has his podcast, Shannon. He possesses Nightcap and Club Shay Shay. Thus, he continues to perform quite well. He isn't exactly impoverished then. Nevertheless, it's unquestionably a step down in terms of public visibility to go from ESPN's original strategy to only producing podcasts. However, it just serves to highlight how quickly your life can change. When you surround yourself with the wrong people, this man let a 19-year-old girl destroy his whole career. You guys? Allegedly, this girl received $29 million. Again, the precise sum is unknown, but it was plenty for her to leave OnlyFans. However, please let me know your thoughts on the matter as a whole. However, I'll speak with you later. That's all I have to offer.
See you later.
Shannon Sharpe got on one of his podcasts last night and said, now the settlement is over and he's fired and let go from ESPN. The only real regret he got is not that it happened. It happened. Is that the settlement and the firing happened around the same week or weekend that his brother's going to the NFL Hall of Fame. He said, can y'all wait to talk mess about me until Monday? He said, my brother is getting honored for one of the biggest honors you can get in life and going and being immortalized into the NFL or the National Football Hall of Fame. And y'all gonna talk about me and this little white girl over my brother going into the Hall. He said, please, talk all the mess you want. Just wait till Monday. I'm not gonna lie. It's crazy because I don't know how people look at the situation as if Shannon was wrong or they just feel like, he's an old guy who's just freaky. But this settlement, ESPN is the only one who cares. ESPN let him go, but he still has Club Shay Shay. He still has the At Night with Ocho Cinco. The other day when the announcement came out that he settled in Atlanta, he just had a cognac tasting for his brand in Atlanta, and like so many people showed up. Like nobody cares about this settlement except for ESPN and the people who just want to talk mess online. But his brother, that's who he considers his hero. He wouldn't be here without him. These are the first brothers to go into the Hall of Fame. And he just really apologized to his brother, saying that this may overshadow his accomplishment, and he apologized for that. But he said, everybody, you want to talk mess, talk all the mess you want. Just please, 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 please. Wait till Monday.
Shannon Sharpe trying to garner sympathy and blame ESPN for not keeping the news until Monday is really just telling me that he has a 19-year-old somewhere already in his lair. He's already working on his next girl, because why are you still out here? You know what it's actually given the CEO of Astronomer? Like, instead of you talking about you cheating on your wife, you actually tried to shame Coldplay for having cameras and footage on the concert. That's exactly what Shannon is trying to do. Make no mistake about this, lady. This is truly abusive and manipulative behavior, because you sat here and said, oh, well, I didn't want to upstage and outshine my brother. Listen. If you already said that and had that conversation with him, why are you trying to come to the public with, oh, ESPN was supposed to wait until Monday? How about you was supposed to be messing with that girl to begin with? How about you cause that, not them? What's wrong? Like, they continue to miss the mark, which is why they will continue to act this way.
So Shannon Sharpe done messed around and got himself fired from the ESPN. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Down $23 million and unemployed is nasty work. Do we not understand, people, that lust has consequences? Unhealthy appetites, if you know, have consequences. Diddy, R. Kelly, now Shannon Sharpe, and just recently Anthony Anderson. Watch, They about to cancel his butt too. Watch, something's brewing. I feel it. When are you all going to learn? What did Martin Lawrence's mother say in A Thin Line Between Love and Hate? One night of passion can lead you to a lifetime of pain. Now that fool about to walk around with his tail tucked between his legs, literally. I mean, seriously, that girl ain't never gonna have to work again. She is retired at 19. And she quit her OnlyFans. See? Kim Kardashian wasn't even that good. She could take a few pointers from this broad. Oh, babies.
It's that time of the day that everybody loves. One person gonna be absolutely pissed. This is Leon's goofy ass person today. Bruh! He's about to sign $100 million podcast deal. You working for ESPN only 2 times out of the day. You probably making your contract there. You was getting $6.5 million a year. But you had to throw it away over some Nana. And it wasn't even no glorious Nana. That little white girl. I seen Barbie doll sticker. Lord have mercy, Shannon Sharpe. What was you thinking, man? Boy, like you said, you had a better chance of walking through a pack of limes with pork chop drawers on than you would in beating that case, and you didn't. She hit you for $22 million, and you're not getting $100 million. Oh my God! You talk about fumbling the bag. Sit your goof ass down.